Cinema. If I had one word to describe what just happened today, it is just cinema. I'm not gonna lie, my voice is still kind of cooked for how many videos I've been recording, but we got the news that MrSavage is officially back, and he is 99% sure going to be playing with Vadeal and Rezon now for this upcoming FNCS. We also got the news that Veno is now contesting Malibuca at Lone Wolf Lair, so the two land qualified teams are now landing on each other. We have huge drama with Khanada, Cooper, all of them explaining what happened with the trio drama. We have a lot to talk about in today's video. Please subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try to be the first person to update all you guys on all of the competitive news. Please just go K-Dog in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. Follow the Twitch, link in the description down below, because I'm going to be watching all of these tournaments as they happen with the brand new trios this week. Without further ado though, we also had a whole EU Cash Cup finals, so let's quickly review that, and then we'll talk about everything else that happened after that. So in first place in the EU Division 1 Cup today was Veno, Pixie, and Marius on 374. They were able to win 2 out of their 6 matches and get 34 total elims as well. There is so many different things that we have to talk about with this Divisional Cup that relates to why so many different trios did bad. But I mean, hey, huge shout out to Veno, Pixie, and Marius for being able to pick up a win during the absolute dumpster fire that EU was, with the 2 top trios that have already qualified to LAN. Second place was Comeback, Blaha, and Mixin on 331. Third place was Thomas, Uppel, and Panzer on 270. This trio honestly was in one of the best positions to succeed this week, so I'm very happy that they were able to pull off a top 3, because I think if they dudded this week, then there was a real possibility that they ended up splitting up. Fourth place is kind of a surprise trio of Pink, Nebs, and Kiro on 263. I'm excited to see what these guys can actually cook up now that FNCS is just around the corner. Fifth place is Wheaton, Frizzy, and Lucia on 252. Sixth place is Ping, Walks, and Malibuca, and this is where we have to start talking about the drama, because if we skip a little bit down the leaderboard to 19th place of Vico, Veno, and Flixie, these guys were contested by Ferdoxy, Chino, and Pablo, and they ended up getting 4-0'd off spawn. Yes, you heard that right. Vico, Veno, and Flixie lost every single game off spawn to Ferdoxy's trio, and so for the very final 2 games, they decided to switch up their drops, go to Lone Wolf Lair, and contest Ping, Walks, and Malibuca. And if you're wondering how that off spawn fight went, they ended up going 1-1 off spawn. We then saw Veno tweet out after the tournament, rest of the year, and they just posted a picture of Lone Wolf Lair. Basically, Veno's logic behind this was that if they're just going to be contested either way, why not just contest the best drop spot on the map, which they do believe is Lone Wolf Lair. And I've seen a lot of pros opinions that Lone Wolf Lair is just the best drop spot. Malibuca then responded and he said 000 ping in a week, can't wait for it. And then Veno also responded that he is also going to be on 0 ping as well. This is about to be one of the craziest off spawns in Fortnite history. It's kind of crazy that the only 2 land qualified trios on EU are looking like they are going to be contesting each other for the rest of the season. That does mean though that it will probably be even more difficult to qualify for LAN this season on EU, just because of the fact that the LAN spots are not going to roll down. I think it is still possible for Veno and Malibuca to both place top 5 in grand finals if they're contesting each other. It is just going to be a lot more difficult. For how I think this off spawn fight is actually going to go, I really have no clue. I was so surprised that Vico, Veno, and Flixie ended up getting ran off spawn by Ferdoxy's trio, but I have also just heard that Ferdoxy is just a super good off spawn player. But I think a lot of us would probably also assume that Ping, Walks, and Malibuca are probably better off spawn players. We already know Malibuca is a mid off spawn player. I wouldn't necessarily say he's the best, but I guess we're just gonna have to wait and see how this fight goes. I feel like if anything, Veno has a higher chance of going back to his old drop spot of Mass Meadows, or even if he decides to go back to Crime City. Don't really know why these teams would both contest each other for the rest of the season. I guess they have nothing to lose since they already qualified for LAN, but this also opens up the door for so many other trios to potentially win FNCS. All right, moving on with the leaderboard, we have like 7th place of iDrop Sky and Scroll on 237, 8th of Hris, Tayson, and Chicho on 223, 9th of Steady Hari and Cammy on 196, and then rounding out the top 10 was Fido and Cringe. Some other big names we had is like the new trio of Noah, Riley, Trulex, and Focus in 16th. Obviously, like we talked about earlier, Vico, Veno, and Flixie in 19th, Pixstar, and Demas in 20th, and then Rezon's trio finished in 27th place in their last ever tournament together. Speaking of Rezon though, he is the reason why MrSavage is most likely going to be competing again. We talked about a lot of this in the previous video, but if you guys didn't already know, Vadeal, Cooper, and Sphinx have split split up and Vadeal is now going back to EU. And pretty much why Vadeal really didn't care that much about going back to EU is because he got to play with Rezon again. And then basically as soon as Rezon figured out that he was playing with Vadeal and they were looking for a new third, the main person that they were pushing for, and I even said this in my video, was that this is the perfect chance for MrSavage to come back. Rezon and Vadeal are obviously both super big streamers. They all already have some pretty fun chemistry together. I want to show you guys the clip of MrSavage actually talking about it, and then we can get on to what he tweeted.
It's a hard decision now since you already quit, but I mean, you know, you gotta have setbacks. The comeback is always stronger than the setback.
Bro's whipping out David Goggins quotes now to try and convince me, bro. Who's gonna carry the votes and
We are gonna carry the vote, bro. And the logs.
And the logs?
Yes. I mean, just think about it. You have time. You have a bit of time. You have like 1, 2
Let me think about it. Let me think about it.
Yeah.
Let me think about it, bro. What do you think, chat? You'll have so much fun. Please do it. Do it. Just stop trolling, bro. Bro, chat, you don't understand how much it, like, took for me to make that decision to retire, though. But, like, chat, I would be lying if I said I didn't miss it. You know what I mean? How about we try out first?
What?
How about we do a tryout
And what is a tryout?
on the FNCS?
So then we got Rezon tweeting out, yo, at MrSavage with the last dance. And then he also just tweeted out another emoji. And then MrSavage tweeted out 14.10.2023. And if you guys are confused what this was the last time MrSavage and Vadeal qualified to the finals of Copenhagen. We also saw like Amar leak some things of MrSavage texting him and saying he's going to be trying out with them. And so it does look like we officially have MrSavage back competing again. I wonder if that breaks a world record for the fastest unretirement though, as he did quite literally just retire on March 15th, which was only 16 days ago. But you guys already know I have been a huge MrSavage fan for so long. I am so happy that he is back. I'm not gonna lie, watching EU tournaments really hasn't been hitting the same since MrSavage announced his retirement. And I think especially now that he is playing with Rezon and Vadeal, who he's already friends with, already has that chemistry with, I doubt any of these guys would end up dropping each other for anybody else, and they still have the potential to be a super crazy trio as well. I think if we wanted to break into the little bit of the team dynamics, like who is actually going to be IGLing these guys, I mean, I guess MrSavage maybe goes back to the IGL role. We could probably see potentially Vadeal IGL as well. I just saw Sphinx talk about how smart Vadeal actually is. What is the actual potential for this trio though? Are they a grand finals team? Obviously. I think the real discussion we have to have is this a global championship quality team? And I'm just gonna say this right now, I think yes. Rezon and Vadeal have both been full locked in grinding the game. They are still absolutely primed up, and MrSavage, like we just said, literally retired 2 weeks ago. It's not like he's on like a Mongraal redemption arc where he hasn't played the game in like a whole year. MrSavage isn't gonna be like washed or anything like that. This is 1000% a trio that can qualify for globals. And I mean, hey, if Veno and Malibuca are going to be contesting each other for the whole season, I think that just adds to the potential chance of MrSavage potentially maybe even being able to qualify for globals this season. There is a couple of things that they have to do though, since I'm pretty sure Vadeal is in Div 2 for EU, so we will not get to see this team play any Cash Cups together, since this is also the last Cash Cup of the season coming up. So hopefully they're able to make it into Div 1 to be able to play FNCS together. But I am just so excited to see MrSavage finally come back. We also have to talk about even more NA drama that we got today, where Khanada, Cooper, Sphinx, all of them officially addressed the reason why they decided to split up. So let me show you guys the Khanada clip real quick.
You guys can call me Snake Nada, this and that. I don't give a after what Acorn did to me last season. I don't care what happens to anybody. The only thing that matters is myself. There's no friends in this industry. There's nobody that cares about you. It's you and yourself, bro. I already talked to G Money and Osid. I can't sit here and train them to become the 2 best players in the game because I need to get better myself. I have to worry about IGLing. I have to worry about, I can't. They're crazy. Don't get me wrong. They're crazy. I know all you guys saw that, me crashing out last season, how I said like both sold our entire grands and shit. But I took a step back and really like thought about everything, and it's like, brother, this dude Rapid sold the out of us. Bolts did not play like prime Bolts don't get me wrong, but that dude Rapid did not know at IGL. Brother, he didn't even know what was happening. He just got us lobby, just got us killed. We would have top 4'd last game. He just got us killed. Bolts, I'm moving him into the dig house, and tomorrow's coming, flying tomorrow. And bro, it sucks that people get in the process, bro. But that was me last season, and I don't give a anymore, like I already said. It's just you yourself, like no one else gonna come there and save you.
I'm not gonna lie, the whole situation is honestly just so messy with them. They said that this all happened in the span of a single night. Cooper also literally said that he was in the car with Sphinx when he found out he was being dropped. So there is probably a lot of different awkward tension between all of them. I think Cooper really does feel bad for Vadeal though, as he was literally moving into the dig house with them. Like this week, I'm pretty sure he was in the process of doing that. And then he found out that he was getting dropped, and he literally took the next flight to EU the exact same morning. I wouldn't feel too bad for Vadeal in this situation though, since honestly he is probably going to be better off playing with MrSavage and Rezon now, because if we're just being real here, Cooper, Vadeal, and Sphinx were kind of just cooked. They had no drop spot. Their team chemistry was slowly diminishing each and every single week, and that trio was really just falling apart all around. It is just still crazy though. I was literally talking about this in my last video. These guys were like unanimously the second best team going into just last grand finals, and it was looking like Vadeal was going to be an NA for all of the rest of the year, and these guys were even talking about potentially moving to EU together if Peterbot, Poyo, and them all signed the disband forms, and now they have completely split just a month later. It is actually crazy how fast things happen in the Fortnite scene. Also, literally as I am talking about this, Kovacs tweeted out, looking for trio, got dropped for Prism, no April Fool's joke. I feel like I have to say this for everything I covered in today's video. I made sure to pretty much guarantee that I wasn't getting baited or April Fool's by anything. I tried to verify as many sources as I possibly could. I even DM'd Prism for this, and he said that it is not an April Fool's and that this is real. So that does mean that yes, Mongraal is now going to be looking for a new trio. We don't know if it's going to be with Casper. We don't know who it's going to be with. I'm honestly not too surprised by this though, as Mongraal, Prism, and Casper were not able to qualify for a single divisional cup finals this season. I feel like you can't really blame Prism too much for this. He has been absolutely popping off in solos, and a lot of people probably are seeing his real potential that he has now. And also, any other trio that has been performing as bad as they have would have split a long time ago. I think the only unfortunate thing is that FNCS quite literally is in like 2 weeks, I'm pretty sure. I don't know if we're gonna potentially get some MrSavage and Mongraal reuniting drama happening now. I think MrSavage is pretty locked with Vadeal and Rezon right now, but hey, we have seen so many crazy things in Fortnite. I guess we're just gonna have to wait to find out. The next one that we have to talk about is Muzz, Rise, and Yapko. So yes, my theory from yesterday's video was also true, and Curly did end up getting dropped for Yapko. I don't really know how much better this actually makes the trio of Muzz and Rise. I feel like their ceiling was really like a 4th to 5th place either way, and now with this trio change, I still think their ceiling is like a 4th to 5th place. I do feel a little bit bad for Curly. We also saw Cooper say that he does have the potential option to play with Curly and Rapid if he wants to, but he just doesn't know them at all, and he would rather play with somebody that he is more friends with. I think there is a real potential that Booga tries out with Cooper in threats this week for the Cash Cups, because Craze is not going to be able to play this week. It's kind of unfortunate timing for Craze that all this snake season stuff is happening, and this is the 1 week that he's not able to play the divisional cups. So we might see like a mini tryout stage between Booga, Cooper, and threats. I don't know how much of a real difference there is between Cooper and Craze. I guess we will see though, because this is also going to be their first week getting Uncon Seaport City, and Cooper quite literally was the team that was just contesting him there, so he has experience and he knows how to play out of the drop spot as well. We also have to talk about Shark and Chap both looking for a new trio now. I think this was another one that was kind of just inevitable. They really did struggle in basically every single finals that they played. I think Shark and Chap will both be able to find some pretty crazy trio options that could lead to an even bigger snake season happening on EU. There really was just so much that happened today. Other than that though, I'm sorry if I missed anything. You guys saw how much stuff we went over in today's video. You gotta cut me some slack if I missed like one small thing. If there is any updates though, I'll make sure to put it in the pinned comment down below. Remember, subscribe to the channel if you guys are new, as we try to update you guys on daily competitive content. Please use code KDOG in the Fortnite item shop if you guys want to support me even more. YouTube says to enjoy one of these 2 videos up on the screen right now, so go check them out if you guys haven't already. Follow me on my Twitter at SillyKDOG to keep up to date with everything to do with Fortnite competitive. Thank God for another day, and I'll catch you guys next time. Peace out.